Welcome back. This is Dr. Vandehei, and I'm so excited that you're here. I've seen literally thousands of people's lives change for the better through chiropractic care, and I know yours can too. Today, you'll receive a report of findings and recommendations, which will help you better understand this exciting healing journey that you may decide to embark upon. To begin, let's review some of the concepts that you were introduced to during your last visit. If you have subluxations, they may very well be causing your symptoms as well as a host of other health problems. You may have no apparent symptoms at all. Over time, if subluxations are not corrected, your health can degenerate. If we can correct the damage to your nervous system, your subluxations and their causes, you may not only feel better now, we may be able to prevent problems in the future, reverse the effects of the aging process, and help you have a better quality life. That's the kind of optimal health and wellness chiropractic care we specialize here. Let's talk about symptoms for a moment. Most people think symptoms are bad, and I can understand why. They're no fun. But symptoms are really very important. They let us know that some type of change is necessary. Let's imagine you put your hand on a hot stove. If you didn't feel any pain, the only way you would know your hand was burning would be to smell the smoke. And ouch, that would not be good. People who have symptoms often take action to remove the symptoms without addressing the underlying cause. It's the have a pain, take a pill mindset. This kind of thinking is similar to hearing a smoke alarm go off in your house. Would you just pull the battery out from the alarm because you didn't like the sound, or would you locate the fire and put it out? Then why, when you have pain, would you take a pill just to mask the pain without correcting
The
the
have a
underlying
pain,
cause?
take a pill mindset.
And learning how to keep from feeling the
People
pain again
who
in the
have
future.
this have that.
So we really need to understand that symptoms such as back pain, neck pain, headaches, digestive problems, allergies, and others are only effects. They are necessary, but are usually just the tip of the iceberg to alert us of a far greater underlying threat: stress. Stress caused by physical, biochemical, and mental emotional factors is the real culprit at the base of the problem. Stress leads to subluxations, improper nerve supply, interference, and damage. It's a lot like having a toothache. Now, just because a toothache started yesterday, this doesn't mean that was the first time that your tooth was sick. The degenerative process going on in the tooth maybe have taken months, if not years, before you finally felt the pain, because that's when it finally hit the nerve. Let's say you went a whole year without brushing your teeth and then went to go see your dentist. Can you imagine what your mouth would feel like and the look on your dentist's face when he or she looked into your mouth? It would look like you had carpet on your teeth. But even more important, the odds are you'd have some serious tooth and gum disease. The dentist and hygienist would spend quite a bit of time cleaning your teeth, dealing with the cavities, and maybe even performing root canals or other major procedures. Now let's assume your dentist got everything cleaned up and you had a mouthful of beautiful pearly whites again. Would you go another year without brushing your teeth? Of course not. Once you correct the damage, you would brush and floss and get regular checkups to have healthy teeth for a lifetime. Just as with the dentist, our intent in this office is to first help you correct the damage you already have. In other words, correct your subluxations and allow your body to function and heal as it's designed to. Then, just as a dentist would show you how to brush and floss, we will show you ways to quit recreating subluxations in the future. And then, of course, we will recommend that you receive regular checkups to make sure your nervous system is free of subluxations or nerve interference. We do not intend to simply relieve your pain or hide or mask your symptoms. We do intend to correct the causes of your symptoms, to allow your body to heal on every level, so there is no need for pain and symptoms. Symptoms are body signals, and they are there for a good reason. They let us know that something is wrong and change is necessary. In a few moments, we will discuss your health goals and different plans of action to help you reach those goals, to help us clarify exactly what you want to achieve. I want you to review this Pain to Optimal Health chart. You can see it says Wellness at the top, and illness at the bottom. The important thing to understand about this spectrum is there are varying locations you can find yourself at different times in your life, depending on your lifestyle choices and stresses. Not only does it matter where you are right now, but as importantly, which direction on the path you are going. As we start to go down the path on the left-hand side, we see what reduces our health. Then, as we start to go up the path on the right-hand side, we see chiropractic and wellness lifestyle choices and changes. These things increase our health. The question is, what makes us begin to go down the path? It begins with an accumulation of stress over time that our body is unable to deal with. What type of stress? Well, it could be physical stress or injuries. And we've all had injuries that might have been caused by such events such as the birthing process, different types of sports injuries, falling off a bicycle, even doing repetitive movements at our job, or a lack of appropriate exercise. These can all cause physical stress or injuries. What about biochemical stress, like poor diet and nutritional imbalances? It's almost impossible today to get the nutrients we need from our food because most of our food is grown in depleted soils. What about other types of chemical stress? Well, what about poisons and toxins? Where do they come from? How about smog poisons coming out of the car, food, sugar, artificial sweeteners, carpets, plastics? All of these are types of poisons and toxins, and there are many more. How about mental emotional stress? Ever had any? Yeah, most of us had a fair amount of emotional stress in our lives. Whether it's getting a D in math, or being ridiculed by a teacher, or something more intense, such as losing a loved one, or going through divorce. And year after year, we get layer after layer or an accumulation of these stresses. They begin to cause subluxations, which reduce the amount of life force through our nerve system. We may start to experience symptoms that get worse over time, eventually leading to degenerative diseases and illness. On the illness-wellness continuum, plus 10 is optimal health, plus 6 is excellent health, plus 2 is good health, and 0 is the comfort zone. As we begin to go down the path of illness, we may notice changes in our energy levels, ability to handle stress, quality of sleep, physical health and symptoms, and our mental emotional state. Eventually, we may go down to -2 is fair health, -6 is poor health, awful health, and eventually death is at -10. Now, the neat part about going down the path is we can always go back up the path. So what do we need to do to go back up the path? Well, we need to make healthier choices and begin the journey back up the path anytime we choose. The real question is, can we make it all the way back up the path, considering all the damage we've done so far? To begin the journey back up the path, we just really need to make healthier choices. We need to get to the cause of the problem versus trying to get rid of the symptom. We need to get chiropractic care, remove the damage or subluxations, and make sure we keep our nervous system functioning at its optimal level. We may need to make appropriate lifestyle changes, like dietary changes, getting more exercise. We may need to address unhappy relationships at home or work, and learn strategies to deal with our emotional stress. And as we begin to make these appropriate changes, and our nervous system begins to function as it's intended to, we may begin to regain our health. Once we really have corrected the damage and changed our lifestyle, so we stop recreating the problems over and over again. It's imperative that we get our spine and nervous system checked regularly for subluxations. Obviously, time and gravity are not on our side, and even though we're making healthier choices, it is critical to make sure we maintain proper supply and function. The average person goes see a doctor when their health is somewhere below the comfort zone. They may feel okay, but they know something just isn't quite right. Or they may actually be in crisis. Many people come to this office when their health is well above the line because they want to stay healthy and get even healthier, moving towards plus 10 for optimal health. Let's take a look at this chart and get an idea of where you think your level of health is right now. Realize you can be very healthy and stub your toe and feel a lot of pain. On the other hand, we've all heard the story of someone who was never sick a day in their life, went to the doctor, got a clean bill of health, and died the next day of what? That's right, they died of a heart attack. So we realize the limitations of the scale. We just want to get an idea of where you think you are and what level of health you'd like to get to. Please put an X in the box where you think you are now. So how would you know where you are? Are you in awful health? Do you feel exhausted? Can't cope with stress? Maybe you have severe insomnia, serious chronic disease and illness, frequent acute episodes or serious depression or anxiety. If you have all these symptoms, you may want to put a check next to -10. Or if you have just some of these symptoms, you may want to put -8. On this scale, are you in poor health? Do you feel fatigued and extremely stressed? Have poor sleep, chronic disease, and occasional acute episodes, moderate depression or anxiety? If you have all these symptoms, you may want to put a check next to -6. Or if you have just some of these symptoms, you may want to put -4. On this scale, are you in fair health, meaning that you're often tired, you have moderate stress levels, you only get fair sleep, you have constant aches and pains and symptoms, you have slight depression or anxiety, or feel irritable a lot of the time? If you have some of these symptoms, you may want to check off -2. Now you may feel pretty healthy, but you just recently were injured. In that case, on this scale, you'd put yourself around -2 or below, depending on the level of pain and symptoms. But when it comes to how long it's going to take to get better, you may want to put a shorter period of time than if you had been in bad health for a long time. Obviously, healthier people heal faster than unhealthy people. Are you in the comfort zone? Do you have okay energy, average stress, moderate sleep, feel okay most of the time, and occasional minor pain? Do you have occasional emotional ups and downs, normal brain fog, or memory trouble? If so, you may want to put 0 on the scale. Or do you feel like you're starting off in a good place with your health? Maybe your energy levels and ability to handle stress have ups and downs. You get good sleep, waking up tired only some of the time. You may have some occasional aches and pains, but you feel good and strong most of the time. You only get slight brain fog, memory troubles, but have clear thinking and steady emotions most of the time. If so, you may want to check off +2 or +4, depending on how healthy you think you are. Maybe you're starting off in excellent health. You've put a lot of effort in to get healthy, and you have high energy levels, you handle stress very well, and get excellent sleep. Your body feels good, strong, and flexible. You feel very positive most of the time, and you are happy. You have clear thinking and strong memory. If so, you'll want to check off +6 or +8, depending on how healthy you think you really are. Are you in optimal health? This means you are vibrant and energetic. You're extremely adaptable to stress. You have great strategies to deal with stress. Nothing seems to throw you for a loop. You get optimal sleep, waking up feeling energized with a spring in your step each morning. You're in peak physical health, like a finely tuned athlete. You are truly full of joy, happiness, and have a zest for life. And you can't wait to wake up in the morning. If this is you, please check off +10. Thank you for taking the time to put where you think you are. We realize sometimes it's not easy, as you may feel you are at different levels at different times. This just gives us a baseline, so we can figure out how healthy you are and what you might need to do to get there. Please put today's date next to the box that you put an X. And then I'd like you to go ahead and put a check mark on the box where you'd like to be. How healthy would you like to get? Do you just want to get out of crisis, get feeling better? Maybe towards the comfort zone, where you feel okay, but you realize you are not functioning at your optimum? Do you want to get towards good health? Or do you want to move toward optimal health, where you are not only feeling great, but you are functioning at your optimum? If so, we must not only correct the present subluxations and nerve interference, but we must also show you ways to quit recreating the same things over and over again. You must make sure you eat, move, think in healthy ways. and maintain a properly functioning nerve system. Of course, we are talking about your level of optimal health, not anyone else's. If you're in your 60s and have been ill for a long time, we don't expect you to attain the health of a 20-year-old Olympic athlete. We just mean, do you want to get to your level of optimal health and what's possible for you right now, and do all the things you need to do to get there? There is no right answer. Not everyone wants to do what it takes to get to the highest level of health. We really just need to get an idea how healthy you want to be, so we can come up with the most reasonable game plan for you. So please put a check mark in the box representing the level of health you'd like to achieve. Now, above the wellness-illness continuum chart, please write how long you feel it will take to reach that goal. Do you think it will take a few years or a few days? Please write the number of days, weeks, months, or years you feel it will take to get there. Realize that if you just want to feel better and get out of your current crisis, this will take much less time than if you're going to correct the damage and subluxations you already have, make appropriate lifestyle changes, and truly reach optimal health. Now let's go back to the right-hand side where it says increasing health. At any time, you can make healthier choices and begin the journey up the path. So now, check off any areas you may need to change in your life to achieve a higher level of health and well-being, become subluxation free, have better strategies to deal with emotional stress, think healthier thoughts, begin or improve an exercise program, add specific nutrients, change your eating habits. If any of these apply, please check next to those choices. Or if you have other additional changes that you'd like to make, jot down what that would be next to other when we get to the end of the presentation. Next, think about the results you hope to achieve as we address your subluxations and make lifestyle changes. What would you like to have? Reduce pain or symptoms and feel better? Increased energy level? More restful sleep? Healthier weight? More happiness? Less anxiety? Or perhaps you'd like to have other personal improvements that you'd like to achieve to improve the quality of life. Jot down what that would be next to other when we get to the end of the presentation. Now in the upper right hand corner, please indicate on a scale of 1 to 10 how important the optimal health and wellness goals that you have set for yourself are, with 1 being the least and 10 the most. Again, there's no right answer. We just want to know how important these goals are for you at this time. Finally, write your name down at the bottom of the page. The most difficult challenge our patients have is that they begin to feel better rather quickly. Please know that if you get to the comfort zone and stop care at that time, your subluxations will most likely continue to worsen, and eventually you may experience a relapse of your symptoms again. Obviously, over time, this can happen more often and be more intense. You may start care again and will usually begin to feel better. The truth is, at some point in the game, there will be too much permanent damage, and we may not be able to get you to where you're feeling good again. The longer these subluxation patterns have been there, the harder it is to undo them. This is one of the reasons why we like to do regular checkups on children in this office, to clear up subluxations before they become a serious problem. You always have choices here. We're always here to help you in any way we can. But if you really want to get healthy and stay healthy, you will need to correct your present damage and subluxations, live a healthy lifestyle, and get regular checkups to make sure your spine and nerve system are functioning properly, to make sure that you achieve and stay your optimal health and wellness. In just a moment, we will review your results and discuss your health goals. Together, we will clarify exactly the results that you want to achieve, and I will show you what you need to do to get there, and how I may be able to help. Remember, in this office you have choices. I look forward to seeing you in just a moment.